Hey, I got a quick question for you. Are you showing up as the expert authority in your business, making sure that your message is on point and your branding is reflective of your go to authorityness? Hi, I'm Christine Blosdale, your expert authority business coach, and I have a way for you to rate your expert authority prowess. And you can check it out at expertauthorityquiz.com. It's fun, it's easy, and it's something that you really should be doing to see where you level up. If you want to establish trust with your audience and potential customers and clients, you might want to take this quiz. Once again, head on over to expertauthorityquiz.com. That's expertauthorityquiz.com.
What you need to do, and this is regardless whether you plan to use LinkedIn for your communications or not, you definitely want to have a profile that is clean and really represents who you are. Because even if you don't use LinkedIn, if you have a profile there, it's the first thing that's going to come up in a Google search on your name. And so if you have a really, lousy looking or very sparse or very old profile, it's going to give people a wrong impression. So it's not just neutral. I'm not on LinkedIn. It's a bad impression. So
Right.
it's really important to have a good profile.
Welcome to Out of the Box with Christine, the podcast for conscious entrepreneurs. Are you willing to step into your greatness? Are you ready to shine? Well, get ready, Truth Seeker. You're in for an amazing ride. And now, here's the host of the show, Christine Blosdale.
Welcome back to Out of the Box with Christine. I'm your host, Christine Blosdale. I am an expert authority coach, and I help entrepreneurs that are overwhelmed by all of the things that we need to do to run our business, which is we've got to be marketing genius. We've got to be a, accountant. We need to wear all these different hats. And sometimes that can be overwhelming to the point where we stay stuck and we just don't know what to do next. Well, my guest today is going to help, especially when it comes to social media and a particular social media app programs that we tend to use. And I actually, for the longest time, I had a love-hate relationship with LinkedIn. I did not know how to use it properly. And then I met my guest today, Sophie Lechner, and she has just turned me around and changed my view on LinkedIn. And I'm learning, I'm not an expert at it by any stretch, but I'm learning how to use LinkedIn to not only promote my brand and what I do, but most importantly, to connect with other genius people, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. So Sophie Lechner is the founder of the Magnet Model, and she is also a business mentor. She helps mission-driven entrepreneurs fall in love with their marketing. I love that because that could be a pain point for people. But Sophie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Christine. I'm excited to talk with you.
I am too. Now, first of all, your book would unlock your impact. And what's the subtitle again?
The Roadmap to Magnetic Client Attraction for Entrepreneurs Who Hate Marketing.
I know that's going to be quite a few of our listeners and the viewers that are on YouTube as well. Just saw the book. We'll make sure that we put a link in the show notes to that book so people can grab it. And you've had a lot of great success with that book, haven't you?
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's going really well. I had the launch back in March and we had a lot of people at the launch party and it's been a lot of fun. And I called it Unlock Your Impact because I find that a lot of mission-driven entrepreneurs have a lot to offer, their expertise, their wisdom, their experience for many decades. And they want to make an impact, but their impact is kind of stuck inside of them because they can't get it out due to the problems with marketing.
Exactly. And and there's so many things that people are being told. You need to do this, you need to do that. You make sure you post, and we're getting conflicting information as well because we're told you need to post 3 times a day, and then somebody else says don't you dare do that. So hopefully you'll help us, and with the platform that you're very experienced in, that wonderful LinkedIn. Now, let's talk about this because Facebook's been around and Instagram has been around and all these different places. What made you fall in love with LinkedIn?
Well, I don't like social media. And I don't consider that LinkedIn is social media. So it's kind of funny because it technically is. But in my mind, social media, meaning all the other platforms, social media platforms, are sort of, I feel that they're quite artificial in what you do on them and what you consume on them. And what I like about LinkedIn is that it could be a place, it is, in my opinion, a place where you can be really genuinely authentic and have real conversations. So, of course, there is a lot of promotional content on there, but there's ways to avoid it. That's one thing. But mostly, if you surround yourself with connections who are exchanging ideas and talking about, real world challenges and have conversations, then you can really build a network of interesting people. And that's what brings you business at the end of the day.
It's those connections. And also I find you have to kind of level up to be on LinkedIn. And when I say that, it's not about just throwing out a piece of content.
Hmm.
You're purposely placing content on there that will resonate with the not the audience, I don't want to say, but the
Hmm.
people that are on LinkedIn. And it
Yeah.
feels quite a bit more professional. I mean, I
Y-
like it. I like in Facebook to, like, the place that you post things, and your cousins and your the kids you went to high
mhm.
school with, they all like it. They all
Yeah,
go, "You go, girl!" Right? But with
exactly.
LinkedIn, it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And a big part of what I do with my clients is to help them be strategic on LinkedIn. And really, that's part of what I talk about in my book is how do you interact with, how do you communicate with your audience in a way that's going to help them before they even buy from you so that you create that know, like, and trust factor. And how are you going to build your message in order to get there? How are you going to learn from your clients what it is they need to hear at that moment and where they are on the customer journey? And how do you communicate that on LinkedIn?
I think you really nailed it right there when you said too about providing. Sometimes it's providing information or education or an interesting fact, that's within your industry, and it's not about selling, because we get
Mhm.
sold all the time. Every time we turn around, there's an ad for something, or somebody wants to sell us.
Yeah.
And that was part of my reason why for a long time I did not like LinkedIn. Was somebody would say,
Hmm.
"Oh, Chris, I'd love to connect with you," and I thought that they were seriously wanted to connect with me.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
it
you
was
get a
like,
pitch.
as soon as I hit okay and brought them into my world, I got it. I got an inbox, and it's like, I can help
Hmm.
you make six figures, and your YouTube channel is all wrong. And I'm like, oh gosh, it's like trying to jump into bed with me on my first date with you. Like, dude, I don't even
Yeah.
know you yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's still a lot of that going on, and you have to be a little bit careful in whose invitations you do accept.
Yes,
I've
yes.
developed a sixth sense over time now. I never get pitches anymore because I could tell the people that are going to pitch me. But yeah, you have to be a little circumspect because unfortunately, there's still a lot of people out there not only pitching but teaching others how to pitch. There are entire platforms with oh, don't even get me started. But anyway, so
Well,
sadly, that still happens. But it's all about timeline. When you think about it, people are on different timelines when they need something, right? They could be right at the beginning of their journey, not know, what their problem is. It's the whole customer awareness. But at the end of the day, people are going to buy on their own timeline, not your own. So making your content about your own timeline, and I have this to sell, and I'm going to sell it to you today, whoever you are, wherever you are, I have to find you and sell to you. It's just it's a misconception. It's just the wrong way of looking at things. People will buy in their own time. You need to just be there, have communicated properly and strategically so that when they are ready, you're the one that they think of. I mean, it seems obvious to me when I explain it, but It's
No,
still not how a lot of people
no,
market.
but it's exactly what I teach with my clients. It's about developing your
Mhm.
expert authority, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
tell them all the time. I say it's not about you. And they go,
Hmm.
what?
Yeah,
What? I go,
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
about you. You show up as
Hmm.
and you can show through different things that you have done, accreditations or awards or whatever. You can have that out there, but it's
Hmm.
really about the person and them finding you and saying, you know what, based on XYZ, right? All these things that
Hmm.
I know about you so far, I think you're somebody that I can at least ask a question. I can get inquisitive
Hmm.
about. Now,
Right.
I know I'm hearing the not that I'm psychic. Well, I am a little psychic, but I'm not a Cleo with the crystal ball. I can hear our audience saying, "Okay, I need some tips because I too want to explore LinkedIn. Maybe I have a LinkedIn profile. I signed up a long time ago, but I'm
Hmm.
just so trapped in those other platforms, and I really want to know some important things. Can you give our listeners? Can you give them maybe a couple tips, like the things
Hmm.
that they should do, but definitely the things that they should not do? Maybe that's a great place to
Right. Yes. So definitely what you should not do is everything we've talked about in terms of pitching and promoting your products. What you need to do, and this is regardless whether you plan to use LinkedIn for your communications or not, you definitely want to have a profile that is clean and really represents who you are. Because even if you don't use LinkedIn, if you have a profile there, it's the first thing that's going to come up in a Google search on your name. And so if you have a really, lousy looking or very sparse or very old profile, it's going to give people a wrong impression. So it's not just neutral. I'm not on LinkedIn. It's a bad impression. So
right.
really important to have a good profile. Now, it doesn't need to be complicated. Just fill in the features, have an about section that really summarizes who you help, how you help them, give a little bit of examples or testimonials. I like to say share your mission because at the end of the day, I think what really resonates with people is why you're passionate about the work that you do. So if you share your mission and your vision, that's going to go a long way towards creating that trust. And then in your featured section, you can feature your website, your lead magnet if you have one, your podcast if you have one, all kinds of materials that will help people to get to know you. And
And
then,
yeah,
the, mhm, yeah, go
no, I
ahead.
was going to say in that featured section. So that's almost like your top expert authority
Yes.
proof,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes, exactly. It's like a shop window. Imagine, you don't want people to walk down the street and just completely have their eyes blur when they see your shop window. You want them to see some really exciting stuff so that they'll walk in and go down the rabbit hole of seeing all the things you have to offer, all your expertise, all your authority, your content, your book, your podcast, whatever is going to help them become, really intrigued and want to talk to you and trust you.
Okay. All right. Continue.
And then what you want to do is share content. And now a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have time to post every day." And I'm like, "No, you don't need to post every day." Sorry, I don't understand people who are on Instagram. I know you might be. I don't know. A lot of people are. I'm like, how do you create content to be there 3, 4, 5 times a day? I have no clue. I can't understand how anybody even does that. But in any event, so on LinkedIn, I think if you post a short post, 1,000 characters, that's just a couple of paragraphs, once a week, that is enough. And what you want to do is be looking for the kinds of people that would be of interest to you and go and comment on their content. So you want to spend a little bit of time on your posting and thinking about what you can say that will help your audience, your potential future clients, that will help them become aware of the problem they have so that when they're ready, you're the one they think of. And you want to build relationships with other people, your colleagues, as well as your prospects, and go and comment on their content. And that is what is going to build the relationship, both of those things.
I love that. So the importance of not just not just promoting yourself and promoting your services, right? Because everybody
Yeah.
can smell a sales job a mile away, but
Mm-hmm.
actually
Yeah.
engaging. And that's that brings us back to what I was talking about
Mm-hmm.
originally, is that I'm learning that it is more of a collaboration networking type
Yeah.
of space, because
Mm-hmm.
I've found people on LinkedIn. Well, I've found you too as well. Well, we participated in a great book launch project
Mm-hmm.
together. But what I find is that I'm able to see, for the people that do it correctly, that do it the Sophie Lechner way, right? When they put out information that's helpful, sometimes it'll be, maybe some AI prompts that people haven't considered. Here's some ideas that you can use
Mm-hmm.
for an AI prompt or something like that. And it's all about giving resources. Then the trust
Yeah.
factor with that person goes up. And
Yeah.
I find that I become a bit addicted to their posts, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm digging in. I'm going, well, okay, they didn't put their website, but I'm going to go to their profile and I'm going to see if their website's there, and I'm going to check out their
Exactly.
website. Now, that's what you
Exactly.
want, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's such a great space for that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's thousands, if not, I mean, thousands and thousands of experts out there
Mm-hmm.
that we can resonate with. Now, and
Yeah.
speaking of AI, you know, Sophie, people use this
Mm-hmm.
thing, ChatGPT and other programs like it, and a lot of times they use it to create social media posts and LinkedIn posts. I am sure, because I've seen it myself.
Mm-hmm.
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on people doing that?
It's, the same as with any tool, you have to use your brain first and then use the tool as an assistant. If you go from scratch, you've never opened ChatGPT before, and you say, I am a so and so, such and such type of coach, tell me what I should post on LinkedIn. Not surprisingly, you're going to end up with something extremely generic with the same vocabulary as everybody else, and it's going to feel boring as hell, and nobody's going to notice it because it's going to look like a million other posts. What you need to do is really think. First, you've got to do market research to really get to know your customers and
Good.
who
Yeah.
is right for you, all of that. And then write about the problems that they are experiencing and do that in their own words. Okay. So once you have that, which is the bulk of the work, really, the fine tuning of the sentences is not so much. And that's what you can give to GPT. So when you have that foundational information, yes, you can go to ChatGPT and say, I want to talk to this type of person and they have this problem and I want to say this, this, and this. And can you write me a LinkedIn post? That's no longer than X number of characters. That's important to me because a lot of posts are way too long.
Yes.
But if you use it that way, you will get good stuff. And you need to then be critical and fine tune it. You also can feed ChatGPT a lot of content that you have written so that it knows your voice, and then it'll come out with something that, yes, is going to save you time. That's the only way you should use ChatGPT.
So I agree a
Oh, man.
1,000%. It's the same thing
Mm-hmm.
what I say when people, I say one of the things that you can do to really show your expert authority is to write a book, write a book on your
Mm-hmm.
subject matter, write a book on your experiences. And people will say, okay, great, I'll use ChatGPT to write my whole book. And I'm like, no, don't you
No.
dare. Because I use it myself, not to write my books for me, but to have an outside perspective on some things. So if I
Mm-hmm.
create a title, I will run it through ChatGPT and I go, this is the title of my book. I want to tighten
Mm-hmm.
it up because there's something that's missing, but you know me now because we've been
Yeah.
dating for so long, Charlie.
Yeah.
That's my ChatGPT's name. I know it's really original, but Charlie and I go way back. And so I'll say, knowing what you know about me, and I'll even remind them sometimes, Christine Blosdale, I'll say, knowing that what you know about me, this is the audience that I want to reach. I want it to have a bit of humor because that's who I am, right? I'm not super serious. I'm not corporate, leisure suit type person. And so I'll say, I want to have a bit of humor about this. And then I'll ask it if it can refine that title, and ask for several reiterations of it. I don't just go with the one thing, right? And sometimes it's like I'll look at it and I'll go, are you smoking dope? Are you high?
Have you ever said that in your ChatGPT? Because sometimes when I think it really messes up, I tell it, I say, no offense, but don't give me an image, for example, because you suck at it. And they're like, LOL.
The other day,
ChatGPT is no
I
offense taken.
I have to find the proper AI tool for this, because every now and then I'll dip my toe into the image creator part of it, right? Because I need a lot of graphics, I need a lot of images, as well. And so I took I'll dip in my toe in it, meaning like I'll go in there and I'll say, can you do this? And it's horrible when it comes back with images, because if there's any lettering in it, it's gobbledygook. It's some
awful.
space alien language.
Yeah.
And then the other day I gave it a real simple task. I said, take this picture and put me, and I'm wearing like a suit. I said, put me in a tuxedo, like a black tie formal tuxedo, like a men's tuxedo, right? Because I think it's hot. It's like 007. So I said, put me in a thing, and it spits out. Now my head was fine. The tuxedo was a little something from, I don't know, from from the Fifth Element or something, the Hunger Games. It looked like the Hunger Games kind of outfit. What happened is that my right hand was fine. My left hand had like another extra hand attached to it. And I said, really? I scolded them on that one. I said, look at the hand, not the right one, but the left one. Really?
Yeah, it does some funky stuff. Really. Yeah, one time I gave it a picture of myself and I was like, why did you recreate it? You had the picture.
Yes.
It
yes.
did something really funky. It was not pleasant to look at.
I think there has to be, I think we need to do, maybe on LinkedIn, we'll do like a gallery, like a series of images
that would be funny.
You think your AI is on top of things here. Like,
true.
Find the worst ones. Oh my gosh. Oh, so let's talk about something that the reason why I'm loving it now, LinkedIn, and I'm hopefully, being up my profile and the words that are there, the about me section and the featured section, is the reason why is because I was able to have some time with you, and you offer something very valuable to people. I mean, I cannot express how valuable that discovery call that you did with me, that strategy session that you did with me, because not only did it help me tremendously, it also, again, just confirmed your expert authority in the field of LinkedIn. And I want to do so many things with you, moving on in the future. But can you talk about that? That's something that you offer people, which is, I think, extremely valuable.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited that you got so much value from it. I always enjoy helping people who then take action, and just go with it and do the things that I recommend. This is an absolutely free session. It's called a profile audit, and it's just a half hour. So for 5-10 minutes, I ask you a question about your business, and then we look at your profile and I make, suggestions for what will improve it. And you can book that at Sophie Lechner in one word, .as.me. So it's the Acuity system, as.me/audit.
I will put that link definitely in the show notes. And if people end up just going to your website, is there some place in there where they
I don't know, there isn't, but you can, send me a message on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with your listeners anyway. So Sophie Lechner on LinkedIn, and yeah, connect and just let me know that you heard about the audit and you're interested. And yeah.
I'll make sure that I'll put Sophie's LinkedIn URL. I'll put that in the show notes as well as the audit information. And I'll also put a link to your amazing book, Unlock Your Impact.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
think everybody should get it.
Thank you. My website is themagnetmodel.com. So there's a ton of resources on there and a page called book. And you can find my book on Amazon at Unlock Your Impact or look at the book tab on my website.
Beautiful. Sophie Lechner, thank you so much for all that you do
for having me.
for us LinkedIn newbies and people who maybe people who are listening to this now, maybe before they listen to the show, they were like, what is this LinkedIn thing? I don't know. I can't figure it out. Maybe now they've got a little hope that they could get on there. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. It's not hard and it's a lot of fun. So go for it.
And you get to meet amazing people like Sophie Lechner. Thanks again so much. And thank you, wonderful listeners. If you got something out of this, or if you know of someone who's struggling with LinkedIn, send them this episode. This is the best way. Don't tell them about Sophie. Send them this show, and they will be inspired by just listening to her amazing expertise on the subject matter. If you want more information about the work that I do, you can go to expertauthoritycoach.com. And if you want to check out your own expert authority-ness, you can take the quiz, expertauthorityquiz.com. This is 10 questions that you should be asking yourself anyway. So that's absolutely free at expertauthorityquiz.com. We'll have links in the show notes. Okay. Until next time, as I always say, remember to think outside that damn box. Bye for now.